Hello and welcome to the live stream and an announcement I've been waiting to share for a very, very long time. My name's Michael Sharkey. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Autopilot. Thanks for joining us wherever you are in the world and taking time out of your day. We have lots of exciting news to share with you today, a major product announcement. But before we get into it, I just wanted to talk about a few streaming housekeeping things. Throughout the initial presentation this morning or the afternoon, wherever you are in the world, I won't be able to look at the chat. So we are going to have a Q&A section at the end, and I'll be able to answer any questions that you might have. And I'm sure you will if you follow us throughout the stream today. I've got a small 10-minute presentation I want to take you through this morning, and then we're going to jump into the announcement that we have for you and get straight to the good stuff. But before we start, I just want to go through and talk about the journey that Autopilot has been on so far. So believe it or not, we launched Autopilot 6 years ago this month. And Autopilot was an app that we built all the way back in 2012 for some of our earliest customers that might remember. And our vision for that business at the time was that in the future, all businesses would be moving online, whether you sold products in retail or you sold software. We knew that the future was online, so we were building a suite of tools in order to help businesses move online. And our slogan at the time was create an online business. And as many of you will recall, that Autopilot was actually an app on that platform, and it became so popular. Autopilot was the application we became known for, and for marketers and business owners, it became quickly the glue that was orchestrating marketing messages and actions right across their customer journeys. And customers told us they loved our customer journey builder. So we listened to our customers, and in 2015, we made the bold decision to launch Autopilot as a standalone product. And that's the customer journey builder that you know today. And our goal was very simple at the time. It was to make marketing automation more accessible and affordable. And if you recall all the way back then, there was really only two options for you as a marketer, especially if you're on a small budget. You could go to MailChimp and send batch and blast emails or some of the smaller solutions, or you could go all the way up to Marketo or Salesforce Marketing Cloud, sign multi-year contracts, have to talk to a salesperson, and you couldn't even try the software and make sure it was a good fit for your business before you even implemented it. And we thought that had to change. So we wanted to make our customer journey builder accessible to everyone. So that's what we did. Fast forward 6 years, and today we have over 10,000 marketers and business owners logging into Autopilot to create customer journeys. And we have now over 1,000 wonderful partners who help our customers be more successful. And I wanted to say a big shout out to all of our partners around the world today that are watching. A big thank you to you for helping our customers and supporting our community. Today, we automate millions of messages and actions right across the customer journey every single day. And we're proud that we've been #1 for ease of use on G2 Crowd for 5 years now running. We're really proud of that. We've also seen thousands of customers adopt customer journeys into their business, whether they're small or large, to drive results. We've seen Patreon grow from a startup to a vital income stream for creators here on YouTube. We've also seen causes in Australia like the marriage equality movement run successful campaigns to win hearts and minds. And we've also helped an NHL team in Canada and one of my favorites, a European airline, adopt customer journeys into their business. And we've helped thousands of startups and small businesses save time and personalize their marketing by automating messages and actions right across the customer journey. But after 6 years of doing this, we've learned a lot, and we've heard a lot from our customers about what we should do next. When we started, there was less than 5% adoption of marketing automation. And today that figure is still less than 20%. And we think that has a lot to do with value. Customers knowing what to do and having the time to actually do it. And we understand that you're actually out there running your business and you're busy running your business. And you just need the technology to work and drive value. So after 6 years of doing this, it turns out we're learning a lot, and we already actually know what businesses should do the moment they sign up to be successful. But just like everyone in the entire industry today, you come into marketing automation software today and you have to reinvent the wheel over and over again. We watch customers over and over again when we know what they should be doing, have to figure it out. I've had so many conversations with business owners and marketers telling them literally to do the same thing over and over again. So let's look at two examples of that. If you're a SaaS business today or a B2B business and or e-commerce, we already know that these are the journeys that you should create to be successful. We know at a bare minimum, if you create these journeys and publish them into your Autopilot account, you will be successful. You will grow faster, you will make more money, and you will drive a ton of value right across the customer lifecycle. So if you're a SaaS business, you need lead nurturing. You need to onboard your customers. You need to welcome new customers. And if you're an e-commerce business, you need to thank new customers, recover abandoned carts, send people coupons on their birthday. These are just obvious things. None of this is that new anymore. Yet every time someone signs up, they have to start from scratch and invest a ton of time that we could potentially give them back. Over the last 6 years, we've also seen a huge data problem. Marketing automation started out by storing lists of subscribers, and over time it got more and more advanced. For a lot of customers, they just want to tap into their existing data sources today. They just want one-click connections into custom databases they have, their Shopify store, their SaaS billing software, or even their CRM. But doing this today is incredibly complicated and time-consuming. There's also the problem of tracking events right across the customer journey, and we call these activities. If you want to track a new order, or when someone logs in your application, or when someone does an important event like uploading their profile photo to your product, we still expect you to go off and evaluate event-based systems like Segment. You have to go and figure out how that should work. You've got to go pay another subscription, and then you've got to come back to us when it's done and complete your journey. We think it should be more simple than this, and it can be. So we think it's time to solve the data problem once and for all and give you a customer data platform where you can easily filter and segment your customer data into target audiences. AI and machine learning have been buzzwords for the last 6 years, and we've been looking at this technology very closely. But we now think AI is at a stage where it can make you more successful. The first time I saw us feed a series of subject lines with high-performing open rates into our AI, and it could then write really good subject lines that got amazing open rates every single time, I knew AI was going to change everything. I mean, it's really going to change everything in the next couple of years. And just like we made customer journeys accessible and affordable to you, we want to make this technology accessible to your business today to drive value, so you're ahead of this next great wave of change. AI will become the biggest competitive advantage that you have in the future, and you'll see me demonstrate some of the practical applications of that today. Next is the analytics problem, and this is one I've become insanely passionate about in the last couple of years. I've had too many conversations with marketers who don't understand basic analytics right across their business. And I know everyone listening today wants to be more data-driven, but it's incredibly hard to make informed decisions with today's tools. Most marketers that use Autopilot or any other solution today don't understand the impact of their campaigns beyond clicks and opens. In fact, many struggle with basic metrics like the conversion rate, their product adoption rate, and even their website analytics. And often you end up using multiple tools. To look at your product analytics, you might use Heap or Mixpanel or Amplitude. To look at your website analytics, you use Google Analytics. And then you go into your marketing automation software and look at very basic marketing analytics. But I have this problem as well. You have to go and log into multiple solutions when all of this data should be together in one single place for you. So when we designed Autopilot originally, we were focused on being the best customer journey builder. We felt like other companies could solve the analytics and attribution problems. But we've given them 6 years now, and we feel like they've had a chance. So we decided we were going to solve the analytics problem for you. And I'm incredibly excited today to show you how we've solved this problem. So all of this experience, all of this time in market, these last 6 years, it led us to one simple question. What if we could just switch on Autopilot for you? What if Autopilot was truly Autopilot? What if we could plug Autopilot into your business, organize all of your customer data, segment your data into target audiences, and then pair those audiences with marketing campaigns to make you more money and grow faster? Then we could show you the results on a dashboard and have a reporting suite that anyone in your business can use to be more data-driven. And all you had to do was switch it on. So for the past couple of years, we've taken all these lessons, everything we've learned, and built a whole new Autopilot. And we think it's a giant leap forward. It's designed to be a solution for your business, not a tool. And today, it's my absolute privilege to share it with you for the very first time on behalf of a team that's poured their hearts into this product. Here it is. Okay, so the big reveal's out of the way. I really am excited to show you this. I've been waiting a really long time. Every time I'd read people saying something like, can it do this, can it do that? I'd be like, please wait, please wait. Something is coming very important. So let's jump in and take a look. Now, if you're an existing customer sitting out there thinking, what does this mean for my customer journeys? What does this mean for all the time I've invested in the current platform? I want to reassure you before we start going through this new version of Autopilot today that customer journeys are not changing. The current product you use today will still be a major product that we sell and update and support. So you don't need to stress as you see this, and I'll answer more questions and I'll talk to you about our vision for the two products moving forward. So let's jump in and now take a look. Okay, so this is the new Autopilot. And the great thing about the new Autopilot is when you're viewing it in the day like I am, it's a bright white color so you can easily focus. And you can also switch over and now see it in dark mode as well. So if you're working late at night like I have been recently, it turns over to this beautiful dark theme. And you can even control it so it'll change as the sun sets so that you get this nice night mode experience. And that's just something we added for the fun of it, but I thought you'd like that. So this is a dashboard that we're looking at. Wow, a dashboard. And it's highly configurable. You can literally ask Autopilot any question about your business and it will return the answer. This customer data platform I'm going to show you today is groundbreaking. There's nothing like it out there today. I challenge you to find something. So this is in a SaaS configuration. Now, the great thing about the new Autopilot is it takes the time when you sign up to understand your business. So if you're a SaaS business, it will create a SaaS version of the product. If you're an e-commerce business like you use Shopify, it will create a Shopify version of the product. So let me show you that. So this is the SaaS configuration with the SaaS-like dashboard, but you can change this to whatever you like. But if I go over here to my other account, which is set up in an e-commerce configuration, you'll see all this information coming in from my Shopify store that I want to observe. And you can even see a funnel down here as well. So I'll talk about that later. So let's talk about how the data model works. I think that's important to understand. And I just want to explain it quickly and then I'll get into more of the glamorous stuff. But I personally am really into this data stuff, so hopefully you will be too. So we can come in here to data sources, and this is where all of your data sources can be connected. And when you sign up for the first time, we'll actually try and take the time to understand your business and connect to a data source in your business. So you can see here I've got Pipedrive connected, Recurly, Slack, Facebook. I've got a ton of data sources. And so what Autopilot does is it takes all of these data sources in and gives you a single view of the customer. So now you can cross-pollinate and cut between all of these different data sources. And they're very simple to set up. You just come in a new data source, click on the one you want to set up, hit get started, and it's generally a single step setup. So because this is a SaaS configuration, the first thing Autopilot will do is read all of the customer data in, and it'll understand it. And then based on the type of business you are, it will set up the key target audiences for you. So in this case, because it's a SaaS business, we have subscribers, people who are on a trial, our customers, power users, slipping trials, so trials that, they're not logging in often enough. So it's able to create these audiences that you should target across the customer lifecycle. So now you can focus on the exact audiences that you should be targeting instead of having hundreds of lists and segments all over the place. And you can arrange these too. And there's absolutely no reason technically why you need to do this apart from visually. Like if you want to put the customers at the top, you can do that. If you want to put them down here, you can do that. But I like to look at them as if they're flowing through the customer funnel. So over in the Shopify version, we'll go over here to the audiences. We can see it's different. So subscribers, customers, single order customers, abandoned browsers, abandoned carts, virgin customers. So these are people who are subscribed but haven't yet bought. People waiting on stock. So it just gives you all the audiences. You don't even need to do anything. It's just ready to go and set up for you. So let's look at activities. So in the past, we haven't actually revealed the activities that we track, and we haven't done a great job of exposing that data unless you're an advanced user with our fire hose. So now in activities, you can see all of the activities down here. So you've got all the system activities like sent, received email, opened email. And if I scroll down further, not trying to give anything away with these forms and other things here. We have Facebook, activities. We've got Pipedrive activities in here. So anything you connect, you're going to get important activities from these applications that you connect. And of course, you can build your own custom activities as well. So if your data source isn't available and you have the skills, you can build activities to represent all sorts of things that happen in your product or maybe your custom e-commerce solution as well. So you can see here, I've got two custom activities. I've got logged in and sign up completed. So let's click into logged in. And this is for a more technical user to look at. If you're not that technical, you never have to look at this. But you can see it has attributes, it has settings to track it as a touch and mark it as a conversion value, and that's important for attribution. And we can come over here as well and click location and click full screen. And these events are also geotagged. So in real time, I can see people logging into my application with this particular activity. And if I go over here to my pilot store, with my Shopify connected, I can go into the placed order and see people placing orders in real time. And my store's only in Australia, so I've got real-time pins here from Australia. So I'm going to close that out and come back over and show you just how simple it is to create a custom activity. So you just click new activity, you describe what it is that you want to track in your business. It could be downloaded catalog. You just give it an icon, so you can pick maybe like there is a download one here, so a download icon. You can add attributes, you flick a few settings over, click next, and we create the code for your developers. So you can just send them an email and get them to put that code into your product or your website, and the data will instantly flow in here. So that's custom activities. There's a lot more to share with activities, but I want to get into some of the stuff that I know you really want to see. So let's go over and look at the customer data for the first time and all the things that we've done there. So remember, working late, it'll switch over to dark. I'll never get tired of that. So the emails and names you're seeing on the screen before you freak out, they're not real. They're made up, and the AI actually helped us make these up. So if you email these or try and contact these people, you're not going to have any luck. So the first thing is we've built a really high level of customization in here. So you can come in here and sort by any column. You can come in here and configure which fields you want to see. Now, the thing that will really excite you is you can also add fields from other applications. So it doesn't need to be a field that exists in Autopilot. So say we wanted to add our monthly recurring revenue here. I'm going to search because there's a lot of them. From Recurly, I can just click on MRR and I'll sort by that and drag it over here and then expand it out. And I can see my Recurly MRR here for these particular customers. So it's insanely easy to rearrange these fields, sort them, and you can even now export the current view that you see, which I know a lot of you will be very excited about. So there's a ton of improvements here. I won't go into them all, but yeah, you can really customize this out. You'll also see these engagement stars, and I'll talk to them in a little bit as well. So now let's look at the powerful filtering so you can see how we filter this data. So in our filters, you'll see for the very first time other objects in here. So we have a person object, an organization object, and because I'm connected to Recurly, I've got my Recurly object models in here. Now, if I go over to an account where I have a lot more connected, you can see I've got Pipedrive objects and Recurly objects in here as well. And soon you'll have Salesforce and various other systems you'll be able to connect to in here. So let's look at how this works. And the most powerful thing about this today that you're going to see is being able to segment across all of your data, no matter where it is. So what I'm going to show you is keying off a custom activity. So we're going to see people that logged in. We're going to select frequency and time. And we're going to say, we want to see people who have logged in more than 2 times in the last 30 days. And we'll click done. And you'll see it instantly spits back a result of 96. There is 0 loading time in this app for most of the operations that you do. I had this joke with our team. that we couldn't have loading in the new product because I wanted it to be as fast as ever. So there is absolutely no loading in the new product. So this is looking at logged in more than 2 times in the last 30 days. And now what we want to do is see people that have not yet purchased. So we're going to go down here and we're going to say subscribed, which designates someone purchasing. And we're going to say has not occurred. And so you can see I instantly get 11 matches here. Now I'm going to do something a little bit crazier, which is key off some proximity data to show you other searches that you can do in here. So I can say person, proximity, and I'll say within 5 kilometers of Sydney. Oops. So I'll say person, proximity, within 5 kilometers of Sydney here. So you can see 33 matches, and it's showing me all the different suburbs of Sydney and the surrounding area. And if you're not in the Sydney region and don't understand this, I assure you it's working as it should. So that's proximity, that's event-based data. And now we can also cut across some data in Recurly if we wanted to. And we can see the whole schema from the Recurly organization in here. And just dive into that and cut against any of those fields. And you don't even need to set up these fields. So now what we're going to do is say person, and we're going to look at total spent here on the person and say it's greater than 100. And so now you can see I'm cutting against data from an object, I'm doing a proximity search, and I'm seeing people who have logged in more than 2 times in the last 30 days. Now I could save this as an audience if I want to target these people in the future, But if I don't want to do that and corrupt my beautiful audiences that I have, I can just hit new campaign, or I can export these people and I'm good to go. I don't need to go and create a whole bunch of lists and segments that I'll never keep track of. So that is the segmentation in the customer data platform. And so we'll clear that out now. So I want to show you one more very advanced thing. So we now track website analytics, and I've got a bunch of data hidden in here because I've got some real data in this test account that I can't really show. So I want to show you something today, which is incredibly powerful. So I can go down here and say, I want a user session now, just like in Google Analytics. And I want to say when it first occurred, less than 30 days ago, where, and now I can cut into a UTM source and say Google Ads. So this is going to show me all the people that came from where the first session occurred in the last 30 days that came from my Google ad campaign. So I can see 36, and then I'm going to go into Recurly here under the organization, search for MRR, and say has any value. So this is going to show me all the MRR I've generated from that Google Ads campaign based on the UTM source. So I'm now cutting, and think about the power of this. I'm cutting between the Recurly data in Recurly and a website session that happened on my website. It's incredibly powerful. And you can keep cutting against other things as well, values in Pipedrive, other activities that occurred. So hopefully you're getting it. It's really, really powerful to do. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's look at how we visualize all of this data. And I promise I'm going to get into campaigns and this thing called Capture in a minute. So we can click into new reports here, and immediately I'm presented with all of the different reports that I can create across all of my data. And now remember at the start how I told you that Autopilot now configures itself based on the data sources that you have connected. I've got Recurly connected to this account, so I'm going to see reports that I can instantly build out for Recurly. And if I go over to my e-commerce account here, I've got a Shopify tab, and these are all of the reports I can build out for Shopify. So let's look at a Shopify one really quickly. So say I want to see my top products by revenue. I can just select this, click get started, and bam, I have all of my top products based on revenue. Just like that. That is not cheating. That is instantly pulling that data in, looking over the last 30 days. So now let's go back to SaaS and let's build a dashboard together. So we're going to start from scratch, and you'll see I have all these report types: funnel, pie chart, line graph, metrics, geocharts, cohorts. So I'm going to pick this column chart, click next, and I just want to see logins over time. And so all we have to do, this is literally how easy we've made reporting. You click activity, I search for logged in, I click on logged in, and bam, I can see all my logins over time. So now I can sort by precision to weeks, to months. We'll stick with days because I think it looks good. I can also show a trend line here. I can display values, maybe looking at them in weeks. And I can add other activities as well, and I'll show you that in a moment. And the most amazing thing is here, I can literally look at logins against other data, like subscription changes in Recurly. These are two disconnected pieces of data in my business normally, but now they're connected. I can see logins against subscription changes that occurred in Recurly. I can't explain how powerful this is until you use it for the first time. So this is logins over time. So we're going to go create this chart, and there's two things I can do. I can share it. So if I don't want someone logging into my Autopilot account, but I want to share a great chart I built with them, I can click share, turn sharing on, copy the URL, and then go over and instantly see the report. And that's all they can see. And then the cool thing is if they view it at night, it's not going to hurt their eyes because it'll automatically switch over to dark mode. So the next thing I want to show you is pinning that report to a dashboard. So I'm going to click new dashboard and we'll call this cool demo dashboard. And you'll see that the report pins to the dashboard. And now I can go in and view the dashboard I've built so far. So we need to make this look a lot better. So let's go back into reports, click new report, start from scratch. And now what I want to create is a metric because I want to have a goal for my team. So I'll click next on the metric. I'm going to look for subscribe because that has money. And we're going to say MRR target. And we'll say MRR in here. And so now I'm seeing 650 new subscriptions, but wouldn't it be great if I could figure out, what are those subscriptions worth? So you can come in here and click aggregate and then say sum of attribute, and it will automatically show you the MRR or add up the value of that particular activity. So down here, I can then set a goal for my team. So I'm going to target 70,000 in MRR this month. This is a healthy little test business. So we'll click create. I have my metric and I'm going to go and pin it to my cool demo dashboard. I'd also like a metric for how many people upgrade. And I want to see the amount of upgrades and the money I'm making from upgrades. I'll also set a goal for that and we'll make it 10,000 a little bit easier. And then I'm going to go pin that to my cool demo dashboard as well. Next, I want to show you funnels. Funnels are so powerful. I'm actually going to show you funnels over here because I want to show you a very advanced funnel. So let's look back at our user session example where the UTM source was Google Ads. And then let's add another activity, which is a custom activity that we have running in here, sign up completed. So you can see my Google Ads in the last 30 days have converted at 15%. So this is pretty good. Now we can look at, of those people who signed up, how many of them actually logged in? 100%. This is excellent. What about people who then logged in again? That would be helpful to know. Oh, there's a 50% drop off. So now I have some work to do. So funnels allow you to look at the complete picture with all of the data that you're using right across your business. And this isn't just useful for marketers, it's useful for everyone in your entire team. You can do it with product metrics as well. Let's go back to building our dashboard here. We're going to do something a little bit more simple. We're just going to look at signed up, logged in, and then logged in again. And we'll call it, do they keep logging in? So we'll create it. We'll pin it to cool demo dashboard. And I think this dashboard is probably looking a bit better now. It needs a little bit of organizing. So we'll go do that. We can just drag these around and reorganize them. We'll sit these two side by side. Our dashboard's coming along nicely here. Let's do one more report. So we'll do a pie chart this time. So I'm going to pick subscribe this time. And you'll see that I can add multiple metrics to the pie, like signed up, subscribed, and compare them. But you can also do this thing called group by attribute. And this is the attribute on the actual activity itself. So I can say group by attribute, and then I'm selecting plan, and I'm going to display it as a donut because I think it looks nicer. And it'll be customers by plan. So we'll go and create that and pin it to the cool demo dashboard. Okay, so let's look more now at dashboards. Now we've got a dashboard going here. So we can do some really cool stuff with it. We can look at the history over 90 days. We can look at the history over 7 days. You'll see it update in near real time. We can look at the last 24 hours if we're a psychopath. But let's look at the last 30 days. You can also see trends here as well. Now under more, you can also share dashboards. So check this out. You can just share the whole dashboard. So if you've got a board meeting coming up and you want to share some metrics, you can just paste this link. And I just pasted that into the chat now. So hopefully you can check it out, the hard work that we did here this morning. There's another really cool mode as well. We call that display on TV. So if you want to put these dashboards up on your television, you can do that. You can also download it as a PDF if you want to send it out as a report. This is especially helpful if you're an agency and you want to show attribution or the impact of what you've been doing. And you can set up email notifications as well. So you can add recipients and say how often you'd like this dashboard delivered to your inbox. So that's dashboards and reporting on Autopilot. I really think you're going to love this, and I can't wait for you to try it and give us all of your feedback. We have a lot of data sources that we want to add to this to make it even easier for you. And we have a lot of ideas about how to improve it already. But I'm excited to get this in your hands very soon here. All right, so let's cut over to my pilot store now and give some Shopify people a bit of love, or e-commerce people a bit of love. Okay, so I want to show you something that's pretty magic. Remember how at the start of this presentation, I said to you, wouldn't it be great if you could switch it on? All that work you do setting up those journeys, it's hard, right? So what if you could just switch it on? So it turns out, thanks to a lot of lessons, you can switch a lot of this stuff on and it can work almost immediately for your business. So say you're a Shopify store. We actually tell you now which campaigns to switch on. So it'll recommend which campaigns you need to switch on, like abandoned cart recovery, new subscriber welcome, turn browsers into buyers. So I'm going to show you this in a minute, and I'm going to show you an entirely new type of campaign we call a playbook. But first, I want to show you sending an email and how easy we've made that and how we've incorporated AI into email. So we're going to call this product catalog. We'll call it pilot store. This just needs to be a memorable name that you remember. We have A/B testing built in now. You can A/B test based on how much revenue a subject line makes. So the A/B testing you're going to love. I don't have enough time to show you that today, but you should check it out. So in here now, I have something really powerful. I have access to all of my customer data as merge tags, including one-to-many data types as well. So you can literally come into your activities here, if you're using Shopify in this case, and look at abandoned cart, and then select the item count. So this would output how many items were in their count. And now in the UI, you can just set fallbacks in case it's empty. So it's really powerful stuff, but we're not going to use that today. What we're going to say is, don't miss our biggest sale of the year. And you'll see instantly the AI suggested different subject lines for me. So it's sale time, grab these deals before they're gone. And in a lot of cases, the AI is a great suggestion tool, but in some cases, if you try these subjects and you can A/B test them to prove it, you're going to find that you get a much better result than the subject lines that you will write. It is really good at rewriting subject lines to get a higher open rate. You can add some optional preview text as well. And then you might have seen emails that we've been sending lately with reactions at the bottom. And this helps train the AI long-term to understand the sentiment of messages. But it also allows people to respond to emails that you write so you can understand how they're performing. And I assure you, the first time you switch on reactions for email, there's no going back. You'll never be able to switch this off again because it is so valuable, the lessons that you will learn. So now we have all of our audiences in here, and it's a quick selection. I'm just going to pick my subscribers, and we have a series of templates in here. Now, these templates are built out based on a brand book that you set up now. And so it will always adhere the templates to your brand, and you're going to love brand book. It's great. I'll try and show you a bit later on if I have time. So we'll click simple text, and we're going to load our editor here. And so the editor's been improved significantly. We're going to put a subject line in here. These items are now on sale. And I'll just make this a bit bigger, a little bit less. Okay, so we've got these new widgets for email in here as well. And these widgets change based on the type of business you are. So I'm connected to a Shopify store right now. So I'm going to see widgets related to Shopify. So say I want to build a product catalog. I can just drag the products in. I click configure and I have access to every single product in my Shopify store. Now, I don't have many items in this store, but we've tested this with stores with literally 100,000 SKUs. It loads instantly and it's insanely easy to use. So I'm going to pick a couple of products here and see how it's alerting me that item's out of stock. So I won't pick that. So I'll pick a few items. I might just do 3 abreast because I think it looks better. I've got the 3 items for my catalog. I can apply coupons in here as well to these items. So when they click, they'll get free shipping or whatever I want to add. And I can configure exactly how this is going to look. Then all I have to do is hit save. My items are added to the email and I've instantly built a product catalog. It can also do dynamic products as well. It can show recommended products for that particular person. It can show recently browsed items if you're trying to appeal to window shoppers. Let's click next and review. Okay, so here is the email. It checks all the links for me. It tells me all the settings I have. I can now schedule it. And there's one cool feature in here. I can now deliver the email in the person's time zone. So if I select 9 a.m. in Sydney and the person's in LA, it will also deliver at 9 a.m. in LA. It's pretty cool stuff. So I'm going to send that email now. And while I do that, I want to show you revenue attribution. So let's go into setup and then we're going to tap into attribution here. So the thing you need to know about attribution is if you don't know anything about it, it's going to show you the money Autopilot makes your business for the first time. And unlike other solutions out there, we've built in an attribution model that tracks every touch. So it defaults to last touch because that's what most people like. But you can do first touch, linear, time decay, position based for more advanced users. It's important to realize that these activities will automatically be set up. All these settings are automatically set up. Now, if you're an e-commerce store, it's going to default to revenue. If you're a SaaS business, it'll also change the way it attributes to ARR or MRR. So the attribution also adapts based on the kind of business you are as well. So let's head over back to our campaign here and we'll tab over to the report. Now, it's really important to note here with our report that these are just the reports that we show you. All of this reporting information is available over here in the reporting suite. So if you want your own custom campaign report, you can just click open rate by campaign, get started, and it'll show you the open rate by every single campaign that you've ever sent. So the analytics now is completely in your hands, but we show you today what we think you should see. And you can see that my email's now being opened. And what I'm getting the team to do here is actually transact. And I've got them under the pump a little bit here to show you how this works. So we might come back to it in a minute and have a look, and I'll show you how the revenue attribution works. So let's go back to what I was saying earlier about just switching it on. So imagine we're an e-commerce store or you're an agency now and you want to set this up for a customer. So we want to implement abandoned cart recovery onto our pilot store. So I'm going to show you how easy that is now. I am done. It's building out the campaign. The campaign is done. So this is what we call a playbook. And before you freak out, you're going to love it. It's insanely powerful, and we think it's the future of marketing automation. So you can give the playbook a name. You define when people enter. So in this case, abandoned cart occurs from Shopify, and you can see the Shopify icon. And I'm going to show you SaaS and B2B examples next. People exit when they place an order because we want them to place an order. We're going to send messages to all subscribers at least 2 days apart, but Autopilot can have a say in that as well. And the attribution is going to be based on the orders that are placed. So now let's look at the messages we're sending. We can tab over and see that in a mode where we can see the different messages, and the previews will load in here in a minute. Let's click into one. And you can see it's adopted my brand styles. I'm sure you can do a better job of setting up your brand book than I have. It adopts your styles. It writes the email copy for you. It inserts the abandoned cart information. Now, this is just a preview. This email is good to go. You don't have to do anything. The AI wrote this. The next email they get is a reminder if they don't buy after 2 days. Here's the next email. It's ready to go. The third email does something else. It sends them a coupon if they still haven't bought after 6 days. Now, you'll note the sophistication of this. So these emails can be sent more than once. So every time a cart's abandoned, they're going to get reminders guaranteed. But the third email is designed to stop them gaming the system, because you don't want to send them a 10% coupon on the third email every time, because they're going to learn that behavior and then they're going to get 10%. So what this does is it actually generates unique coupons in the e-commerce solution that you have attached to Autopilot. So they can never share them on coupon sites, and the discounts you give are really safe. So that is ready to go. If I wanted, I could not even check it and flick this on. There's really nothing to do, and that'll start making money and recovering abandoned carts automatically. Okay, so let's go and have a look. Oh, we have a purchase. So you can see there's been one order and the revenue here is $31.90. So let's scroll down. And so we have the order, the conversion rate of this email, and we can even see the exact products that people have bought. And this adapts to a B2B or a SaaS business as well. So you would see in here subscriptions or products that you've sold as well. And down here we have our reactions. So Matt has said great deals and said he loved the email. So you can actually get sentiment scoring for the first time on emails. This one is 100% positive, but you can now, if you have emails in a nurture that you've had it set up for years, you can actually find out if people like them or dislike them now. So let's go over to our SaaS demo here and build this out from, so we're going to build this out now, our very first playbook from scratch. Okay, so we'll click new campaign, and you can see I've got a whole bunch of different campaigns in here. So I've got email, playbook. You'll see SMS is coming soon, and I assure you it's coming really soon, and you're going to love it. We have email RSS, and then Facebook and Instagram ads. So campaigns now is where you'll find all the different campaigns that you can target to your audiences and the people most important to you across the customer lifecycle. So let's click into playbook. And we have templates in here as well. So again, it adapts. So if I go into Recurly, these are all the playbooks I should set up. Post-trial nurture, request reviews from customers on G2 Crowd, thank new customers, convert trials to subscriptions, onboard new users. You don't have to do anything. So you can, we are going to do something though. We're going to click start from scratch and do some hard work. So I want to set up a re-engagement campaign. So these are people who have signed up to our product. They haven't logged in for 30 days and they haven't bought. So let's re-engage them. Okay, so here's my re-engagement setup. And it says people enter when. And it gives me these quick start preferences here. So if you want to use a quick start, like you're setting up something for their birthday or a renewal reminder, or a specific activity occurs, you can just use these presets. So you could go in here, pick the activity, and you're good to go. I'm going to set it up totally from scratch. I'm going to say they match a filter, and then we're going to go and filter how people enter. So we need to say, first of all, they logged in, frequency and time. They've logged in less than one time in the last 30 days. So it's showing me immediately 1,700 people match this query. And then I need to make sure they're not yet customers, because that would be a bad look. So I'll say subscribe, and I'm going to say has not occurred. So that'll reduce our number. But what about people who just signed up and haven't yet logged in? We don't want them to enter this playbook. So we need to add another condition. So we just want to say sign up first occurred, and we'll say more than 10 days ago, not 20, 10 days ago. And so this now isolates the people to enter when we need to re-engage them. You can see there's about 400 people we can immediately target for this playbook. Now, We want people to exit when they become a customer. So we're going to just come down here and select subscribed. And we're just going to say occurs. So immediately when they subscribe, immediately on this occurs, they'll be removed from this playbook. So it says people exit when they receive all messages or no messages are sent for 30 days. So what we're looking at here is they've either gotten all the messages in our re-engagements, there's no point in them being in here anymore, or they're not qualified to receive any of our messages. And then if they become a customer, we also want to eject them. So think about it like this. This is the trigger. This is the ejection criteria that you know from the current autopilot. It's so much easier to understand what's going on here. We then have send messages at least 3 days apart. We want to go in and update this to at least 7 days apart, because if we email them every 3 days, they would get angry at us. We also have time ranges in here and the ability to deliver messages specifically to an individual person in their time zone. So what I'll do is I'll show those features in a moment, a bit more, or talk to them a little bit more. So attribution, it's going to attribute this based on SaaS subscriptions. So let's go ahead and add messages, and I'm going to go choose existing here. And I've already prepared a bunch of nurture emails because I don't want to show you creating emails again. So here are all my messages I've loaded into this playbook, and we can rearrange them based on the order we'd like people to get this content. And you'll see by default that each message says everyone in the campaign is eligible to receive it by default. So we can go into our other mode here and just scroll through and see all the different messages that we're sending if we want to just quickly look at that. And I want to now explain how this works. So we've got a nurture email here. And these work like different emails. You can see the audience that's received them, look at the individual report. You can even A/B test these messages and just start an A/B test very simply when you go in and edit it. So it's really cool UI. The messages just stack on top of each other and it'll just test them, pick a winner based on what you tell it, maybe revenue, and then it'll just load that one in permanently. So the A/B testing is absolutely fantastic. So let's talk about this re-engagement. We want them to get all of these emails, and then if they show behavior, so like they're clicking into these emails and reading our content, we want to send them a sales outreach. So let's go into our sales outreach, and we can see it says here, people receive this message when? Everyone in this campaign. So this is what we need to change, and we're going to edit it. And what we're going to say here for the first time is clicked email, and we'll use frequency and time, and we'll just say more than 2 times where campaign name is re-engagement. And we'll click save. So now this email can only be sent to people that have shown interest in this re-engagement campaign. It also says here, people can receive this message only once, because we don't want to send a sales outreach more than once. We will look stupid. But order confirmations, abandoned carts, things like that, we want to click edit and select more than once. We can also designate an email as transaction if it's an order confirmation or an order notification or something to do with their billing in SaaS. Okay, so that's set up. And I'm seeing this notification here because I have unpublished changes on these emails and it wants me to go in and just review them. So I'll quickly do that and just publish this email out. Okay, so now let's talk about the priority order. Why do I have this email at the top? So what Autopilot's going to do is when they enter, it's going to look at this first message and it's going to say, okay, should I send it? And the answer is no, because they haven't clicked an email more than 2 times where campaign name is re-engagement. So it's going to send this email, it's going to send this email, it's going to send this email. And once they show that behavior, they will then get the highest priority, which is our sales outreach email. So it does all the hard work for you. And you can probably start to guess in terms of the AI what we're going to do here and why we have adopted this new interface for you. We believe playbooks, as I said earlier, are the future of marketing automation. And we want to drag you into the future, potentially kicking and screaming. But we assure you these playbooks will get you better results for your business and help you or your customers make more money. So now I want to show you some pretty crazy technology that we've been able to develop. I have writer's block. Being nervous on a live stream with so many people, I don't know if I can write any more emails for this nurture. So I'm gonna get AI to help me. So I'm going to click create a new message with AI. So there's two types of messages we can create with AI. One, you can generate a message from an outline. So if you have writer's block like me today, you can do that. And coming very, very soon, you can turn an existing blog post on your website into a nurture email, and it will optimize the introduction and the subject line to grab them, and even create a call to action to send them through to that blog content. So this is really powerful stuff. So let's click continue, and we need to give it a subject area, and we're just going to say marketing. And I'm going to say which marketing channels is one of my key points. I might add should you use. And then I'm going to say how much to invest in marketing. And then what ROI should you expect? So you'll see the AI now starts to write out these messages, and you get this nice loading animation as it does it. It can take up to 60 seconds to write these emails, because what it's doing is it's taking in all of the data from that outline you produced and coming up with multiple message variations. It's also looking at what images it can find across the web using APIs to tap into images that you can present into your email. And you can see now it's loaded up. So you're looking at probably the first ever marketing automation email written by AI. So the subject line is how to break down your marketing strategy into a spreadsheet and eliminate guesswork. And I assure you, I had absolutely no idea what this thing will write. It comes out with a new thing every single time. So how to break down your marketing strategy into a spreadsheet and eliminate the guesswork. And then the descriptor below, the marketing funnel, how many leads should you be getting? How to break down your marketing strategy into a spreadsheet and eliminate the guesswork. You've got a plan, your events are running, you've got an email series going out, your blog is updated every week and your ads are running. Yet when you look at the numbers of leads you're getting, you've got coming in, it's not what you expected. The problem is when we don't measure our results, we end up guessing. We expect to get X number of leads that becomes our goalpost. We spend months. Anyway, I hope you get the idea how amazing this is. This thing can literally write all your nurture emails for you, whether it's from existing blog posts or just content ideas you have. And we've been using this internally to create all sorts of emails, and we are just blown away, whether it's e-commerce use cases or you just want it to help you write an introduction, the power of it. Over here, here's another example. What marketing channels work best for you? And here's a completely different example. We've got a bit of styling to fix up here on the dot points, but powerful stuff. So I'm going to choose this one because it looks great, and I'll add it in. And you can see it's prefixed with AI, so we know that the AI wrote it. And we'll click into it, and here is the email pretty much ready to go. It's already filled out and configured for me. And I can click into design, and I can go in here and edit it, and it adopts my brand font and my brand typography as well here that's already set up in this particular account. All I really need to do is connect this read more link up, and I could turn this post that it's written into a blog post if I wanted as well. And you can probably just imagine where we're going with this, right? This technology will be able to help you write and test ads in real time to all the major ad networks based on targeting the audiences in Autopilot. It's going to help you write content for your website. It's going to help you send better emails. And as it advances, it's going to optimize all of the email content and automatically suggest emails that are related to the emails that you add to Playbooks. So don't freak out too much. We'll all still have jobs if we get ahead of this AI revolution. But we want to put this in your hands before anyone else and get you really familiar with it and looking like absolute magical people. So over in Actions, this is how you can now add actions to a playbook. So you can see I've got a couple of actions in here. Actions are added based on the data sources that you add, and we've got a whole lot more that we'll be rolling out soon. So you can tag people, send Slack messages, update fields, and even send a webhook to a different application. Let's look at a tag. Say we just want to tag people who enter this as nurture. We'll click create. And you can drag these actions to happen when people enter a playbook or they exit a playbook. And so it's really easy UI. Like if you want it to enter here, if you want it to exit here. You can also click into an action and see how it's performing, which audience has been it's been applied to in this case with the tag. And actions even have filters as well. So you can say when this action should occur. So if you need to update a task or a lead record in Salesforce, or even in the future update a Shopify order based on something occurring, you could do that and apply certain actions to it here. So that's a fairly quick look at Playbook. On this YouTube channel, I have a complete overview of that same playbook and I go into much more detail. So if you're interested in learning more about playbooks, you can go ahead and start to watch some of those videos. All right, so let's look at Capture next. And I know people are going to be really excited about this. So with Capture, you can do all sorts of things. I'm going to start over in the e-commerce version to give the e-commerce people here a bit of love. So let's click new widget for the very first time. And we're going to go start from scratch. There'll be a bunch of templates for Capture available a little bit later today. So we have widget types here. We've got bar, pop-up, notification, takeover, banner. Ooh, form builder. We also have a spin the wheel that you can add to your website. Let's start with pop-up. So these captures can be added to either capture attention in your product to nudge someone to the next action or help with onboarding, or it can be to capture new subscribers or get them to do a particular action like watch a video or click a button. So let's set up a capture widget. So we go into edit mode and we can click into this image, and I'm going to replace the image first of all. So I'm going to add a new image. I'm going to drag it to the top, click into it, click upload. And then I'm just going to quickly find a nice image that I can put in here for you. And I, of course, prepared one earlier. Okay, so my chili image is now in here. Now we have great layout controls, and these are designed to just make editing these really easy instead of playing around with all different combinations. So we could put the chili image to the side. We can put it up top. We can play with the size. You can even edit the image and it's built in. So down here with the text, I'm going to say save 10% on chilies. And we're going to say subscribe to save 10% now. Okay, so I put some content in. I have this form, and of course I can add new fields to the form. And when you use this, if you actually use this today, you're going to see that the fields are based on fields that you need to create in the customer data platform. But we're soon adding, very soon in the next couple of days, the ability to create what we call throwaway fields. So you can add other fields that you might not want to store, but you want to come through on the activity. So when they fill in this form on the thank you, we need to give them this voucher. So we'll say, here is your coupon. And then we're going to add content, and look at this. We have a coupon here. So we'll just add the coupon, and then because I'm connected to Shopify, it automatically loads in all of my Shopify coupons. I can also create new coupons right from Autopilot, so I don't have to leave Autopilot. So I'm going to select, well, I said 10% off, so I better do that. So we'll add a 10% off coupon. So now let's look at it. The greeting, the thank you, and they'll get the coupon, and it generates a unique code for them that they can copy and easily use on your e-commerce store. And of course, we've got amazing targeting options here. So based on time on site, if they display exit intent immediately when they load the page, you can even geolocate the pop-up. So you can say, I want it within 5 kilometers of Sydney or 5 kilometers of LA, and it will only show the pop-up based on complete proximity geolocation. You can also target a specific audience, people you don't know, people you know, and when it's people you know, you can pick from an audience or certain behaviors and activities. So all of your filters are available here. And of course, you, with one click, can link it to a playbook here. So you can, you can link it to a playbook so you can have emails that are sent after the particular widget is shown. All right, so I'm going to speed through this a little bit more. Let's look at the form builder because I know a lot of you are excited about this. So why did we build a form builder finally? Well, it turns out the form capture in the current version of Autopilot with new requirements and disabling of cookies and JavaScript and all sorts of things for privacy people are doing. It turns out the side effect of that is sometimes it makes the form builder unreliable. So we decided to just build a form builder from scratch. So it's the same deal here. You can add fields in here like a birthday. It'll switch it to a date field. You can stylize it if you want in here. For example, if you wanted to change the button to red and do all sorts of things. You can do a thank you page. You can add images to the thank you page, videos to the thank you page. You can get unstyled code if you want to implement it into the theme of your website. You can tell it to disable all JavaScript. There's a ton of options in here. But at the core, all you need to do is build out your form, click save, and just paste this snippet of code on your website or on your Shopify store or wherever you want this form to appear and work. And so we have a form builder, and it's great, and you're going to love it. It has all these field types built into it, so you can do multi-select, single select, all sorts of stuff. It'll give you a report and show you as people fill it out in real time, and so on and so forth. Let's look at a fun one now. A spin wheel. I'm just going to go through these quick because I have a lot more to get through. So let's look at our spin wheel. So we have a spin to win now for e-commerce. So it's pretty much already configured. Let's look at the wheel because I think that's most exciting. So all you do is you go and add some coupons to the wheel here. And then we'll go and change the styling a little bit here. So, oops, I don't know why I did that. White headers, that's not going to work. We'll go down here and change the text to white, just so it looks better on the wheel. I'm feeling in a bit of a party mood, so let's change the colors up a little bit. Okay, cool. This is like speed building of a widget here. Okay, so with the wheel here, I've got an even outcome for the win scenarios, but I can change these win ratios. So for example, I don't really want them to get a 50% coupon off every single time. So I can minimize that down to say 1% or 0% if I'm mean, but I'll change it to 1% and I'm going to lock that outcome. So this can only ever be a 1% outcome. And then I want most of the people to get a 10% off everything coupon for filling in this. I always want a winner, but you can elect to have losers. And so, yeah. So now that basically rigs the spin wheel and yeah, and so this is a great way of capturing subscribers, especially if you're e-commerce. But you could try this really on any type of website. Okay, so I'll look at one more now. So let's look at actually I'll cut over here and just show you. So imagine you've got a product release going out and you just want to share a simple notification that your new release is here. You could go in here and add a video to it as well. So you could pop a video up here. And then just cut and paste in a hosted video URL, and that will appear, make the video appear. There's also reactions built in, so people can react to that announcement, and you can change the emojis and the specific reactions down here as well. And of course, I've shown you some pretty bland styles, but you can really mix it up, add background images, and go nuts. So you can let your creativity run wild. So I'll show you one more thing, which I think is really cool, and that is surveys. So you can actually just survey your users at any time, anywhere. So here with notification, let's jump into this. We'll clear out the form, and I'm going to select survey. And yeah, so you can literally come in here and say, I'll put the text above, how was your checkout experience? And then you can elect to just put this at the end of the shopping cart experience or on the order confirmation page to understand the experience that customers have instantly. And you'll see a beautiful report is generated over in reports. It's obviously not there yet because I don't have any data. But you'll see a pie chart of all this data. And in the reporting app, you can pin the actual capture results to a dashboard. So I've actually done that. So I'll show you an example. So this is just a summary of some capture widgets that we tested out. So you can see the blog exit intent performs really well. pricing page quotes also perform really well. Okay, so that's capture. If you stick around for the Q&A, I can show you more things if you want to see stuff there, but you can just go and explore it yourself and go nuts with that. Okay, so the final things I want to quickly touch on: email settings and templates. So there's a whole bunch of email settings now. You can add multiple domains and have primary domains. You'll be able to manage and maintain your own custom IPs in here if you want to. We have opt-in methods built in for local legislation, like double opt-in, single opt-in. We have email limits. You can even prevent emails for the first time being sent on Christmas Day or some important day where you don't want to send emails. You can even control the options on the templates as well. What appears in the header menu, the address in the footer, which options you want with email, the question that appears with the reactions, and easily add all of your social icons into your templates as well. So you can manage templates from a single place for the first time. So if you ever update your address or something, it's really easy now. Brand book is where you set up all the different colors and fonts and typography. We've got a ton of custom fonts in there, and we'll soon have the ability to upload your own custom font, but you'll probably have a lot of luck finding the fonts you use in there today. And this just gives you a full preview, and I could change my footer to like red, for example. And on certain plans, you'll be able to remove the default footer and completely customize the footer out as well. In the customer data section, you can also modify the activities and build a model for an engagement score. So this helps SaaS companies if you want to see product engagement, and you can control the weights that we give certain activities, and you can add any activity in here you want. So you just select from your activities and apply a score, and then control the activity weights and choose the engagement period over time. And that'll half-life the activities over time. So engagement score is going to become a really great way of figuring out how engaged your customers are. And this will automatically set up based on the type of business you are, and you select on sign up. So again, you don't really have to do much if you don't want. Okay, there's a ton of other stuff to show you. Coupon management's built in. Our privacy and security is better than ever. In fact, it's world-class now. You can enable two-factor authentication. We have Google Apps authentication. Everything is at your fingertips now in terms of security and privacy that you can control. And even the general business information now, you can customize for the first time dates and times. So if you're in Australia like me and you do dates properly, day, month, year, you can do that. If you're in Europe, you can switch your default currency to pounds or euros. I realized that I just said Europe and pounds. You can switch on the organization model if you want it, and it hasn't been switched on automatically at sign up. And you can control if you want the home suggestions as well. All right, that was a lot to take in. I hope you're following. It really is a lot to take in, but I hope you've enjoyed that walkthrough so far. So now we're going to just talk through some obvious questions that are going to come up. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is journeys are not going anywhere. As of today, we will sell, support, and continue to improve 2 products. We have the Autopilot you know today, which is going to become known as journeys. So we'll now refer to the Autopilot you use today as journeys. The new Autopilot I've shown you today is going to take on the Autopilot name, and rightfully so. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, should I switch over or not? I'll talk about the pros and cons in a minute and how that's going to work. So journeys are best for people who want to orchestrate the workflow across the apps they use and continue to have that glue in their marketing stack. So if you've invested time and money in journeys and you have a great marketing stack today and you're happy with that, I would recommend you stay put. As I said, both products will continue to be sold, improved, updated, and supported, and we have a lot of ideas for both products. But it's important to remember that they're two separate products. They're completely separate. They have different logins, different pricing models, and they even at the early stages have different people and methodologies of how you'll get support. For example, in the new version of the product, which I can quickly show you, you can just click this Get Help Anytime, and you'll be able to see open tickets and converse with us directly in the product. You'll be able to see trending feature requests. You'll also be able to see our roadmap in real time and what we're working on. So back over to the presentation. So the big question you're probably going to ask is, should I switch and invest the time in Autopilot? And so the thing is, there's no reason why you have to switch if you're happy with Journeys today, the results you're getting, or the capabilities of the platform. And if you don't need the new features I've shown you today, I would recommend that you probably stay put as we evolve out the new Autopilot. But if you're a SaaS business who uses Recurly or soon Stripe and many other billing platforms that we are about to release, and you want custom activities like sign up and logged in, I would highly recommend you try out the new product and consider moving over. If you're an e-commerce business that uses Shopify or soon WooCommerce, Magento, and other e-commerce platforms, I implore you to switch over. You really should switch over. This product adds so many features that you'll benefit from. And next on our list is WooCommerce, and we'll be rolling out all of the different integrations soon. Unfortunately, at the time of this presentation, our Shopify app hasn't been published in the Shopify store, so we actually can't let you try Shopify right now, and that's the fault of the boffins, the kind boffins, I should say, over at Shopify, who, you know, are still trying to get this app into the store for us. So hopefully we can get that in really soon, and maybe if you are a Shopify user out there and you send them an email to sort of nudge them along, it might be helpful. Okay, so we've got an FAQ up about making the switch, which is available on help.autopilotapp.com. And you'll still find our support docs for the Journeys product at support.autopilothq.com and but at help.autopilotapp.com, which you'll easily find on our new website, you can read about the FAQ. The other important thing to know is that when you log in now, the main site will actually log into the new product. And so you'll still need to go to journeys.autopilothq.com to log in. And under solutions, you'll be able to find some quick links for that. And if you accidentally try and log in on our homepage, it will tell you to, it'll actually tell you to, you need to log in somewhere else. So hopefully that process runs smoothly. I apologize if it doesn't. We're rolling out a lot of new stuff today, and it'll be a little bit of a bumpy start in terms of our website and just getting people into the new product. Okay, so I'm excited to tell you that the new Autopilot is available today, right now, hopefully. I should check, at autopilotapp.com. And so we're calling it early access. The reason we're calling it early access is because there's so many more features that we're going to bring you over the next couple of weeks. Having our Shopify integration in the store so you can actually sign up to it. We're very close to releasing Stripe, which I know will excite a lot of people. We're building the most powerful Zapier integration you've ever seen. And we're waiting on our Pipedrive app to be listed in the Pipedrive store as well. So unfortunately, we just couldn't get those things live on time today, but it's still not going to stop you signing up, trying it, and later on connecting into those platforms. If you do try and sign up with Shopify today, what's going to happen is it's going to redirect you to the store and you won't find the Shopify listing. So if you just wait, we'll send you an email when it's available if you do want to wait to have a great experience signing up. But if you want to play around today, you can just sign up for a free account, play around, and then you could add another account later and go through the Shopify setup process. So what does early access mean to it? It just means that we have a lot of things to add and improve before we do an official launch. Today, we just see as an announcement to get this into your hands, but we will do an official announcement, and we're going to do official announcements for each type of genre of business that can use Autopilot. So we'll do an event for B2B and SaaS and an event for e-commerce. And at those events, we'll have even more to show you. You can see what we're working on now at roadmap.autopilotapp.com. Once you have an Autopilot app account, you'll be able to go to that URL. You can suggest any features or data sources you want and upvote them, and we'll work on them. And you'll actually see as we pick them up and work on them. And the big difference here you're going to notice is our new data platform is very easy for us to add data sources to. So in the past, it was terribly hard for us to add new integrations, which is why you saw us not add as many as we wanted to over time. So with the new Autopilot, you're going to see a lot of data sources added every couple of weeks, and we will get to them. So please just suggest them, add to them, and vote for them. We're going to listen and respond to the community. I'm even going to hold, bi-weekly or weekly, depending on how many people want to show up, Q&As and sessions where I just teach you and show you how to use the product, and we can talk about the roadmap and product releases. So I'm going to use this YouTube channel heavily. And I hope you enjoyed this style today of just getting to chat and be relatively live. All right, deep breaths. So if you want to stick around now, I'm happy to answer the questions that you might have. I'm amazed how many people have you made it through that entire presentation. It was certainly a long haul. It was longer than I thought it would take. But yeah, I'm very thankful for you all turning up today and spending time with me. It means a tremendous amount to our team. We've had to keep this a secret for about 2.5 years. And there's a lot of engineering and man hours that have gone into this. So yeah, it would be great to hear from you. I now have the chat up so I can see what you're saying for the first time. And yeah, seems like there's quite a few people in here still, which is great. Yeah, so you will be able to have contacts, Magnus, without email. So we support IDs on contacts now. IDs, emails, phone numbers. So that's been fixed and improved in this new data model. Discount code for early access. So we have given our early beta users, there was about 55 of them, a coupon for helping us, and we will help you migrate over. So if you go to our FAQ on help.autopilotapp.com, there's a ton of information about that, so you can check that out. So I see big commerce integration is planned. So yes, a big commerce integration is planned. Some of the platforms are really different in the access they'll give us to their APIs. So some of the features you see for Shopify will be slightly different for each integration we do, but we're putting a lot of work into each data source that we add and thinking through the use cases. So please share, like on the roadmap forum, anything that you want to see in that integration, and we'll do our best to get it done for you. Some people are saying email signup isn't working. We are switching it on like now, and it's rolling out. So just if you can just be patient, you might have to try again later. It looks like we're getting pretty bombarded. Yeah, so the login events and custom activities, I can quickly just jump in and talk a little bit more to that, because that's a question that's come up a fair bit. So these activities, let's actually just set up one. So say you want to see when someone, I don't know, like sends an email. So email sent. So we'll give it an email icon, and then you can go down here and add attributes. You could say like the audience size, and we could select the field type, like because we want like a number for audience. So you can add these attributes and choose to map them into the customer data platform or not. So attributes can be throwaway, like they come into the system and you don't need to store them, but you can also map them to a field. So you can transmit data that way as well. Now, if you want it to count towards revenue attribution, you can switch on this conversion value. But the real magic for this is you hit next. If you need technical help, you can just email the instructions to your trusty developer. I'm going to email these ones to Chris, and it'll say it's going to give them access to your private API key. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. But if you're doing it yourself, you just click, I'm doing it myself. The engineers on our team will kill me for revealing a bit of an API key, but that's okay. And so there's all the code snippets you need for major languages here, and we'll add more soon. So Node, Golang, PHP, Python. And our docs are evolving. They're pretty good right now, but they can get a lot better. Okay, I'm just looking for more questions here. There's a lot of them. The chat's really small. My eyes are bad. So the pricing is slightly different. It's similar but different. And I think it's for the better. It now allows you to archive contacts that you're not emailing or don't want to communicate to, and they will be immediately removed from your plan. So if you've got contacts, like 10,000 contacts in there, this was a real big issue in the Pipedrive community. I mean, they slaughtered us in the app reviews for this. That they had to pay for the people that they were using in Autopilot, and some of them, I guess, weren't subscribers anymore. So we added this feature where you can now archive contacts and they don't count towards your plan limit. There's also different plans now, so I don't know. I'm going to check if this website's up. Hopefully it is. Yeah, so if you go into pricing, you'll see it all there. It's all broken down. And the plans are very specific. So if you're just sending email campaigns and you don't need any of these features, you can now just sign up for a $29 plan and just send emails. And you're feature limited, but not that much. And there's also a free plan. On the free plan, it's pretty impressive. You get 2,000 included contacts. You get a ton of great features. And you can send up to 8,000 emails a month. So the free plan's pretty good, especially if you've got like some side project or you're just starting out and you want to try it out. It's a great way to do that. It moves up all the way to business, and then you will add additional contacts on and emails if you need them. But the included email limits are pretty generous. And then there's a whole bunch of other add-ons as well once you get to the business plans. So if you need more reporting or audiences or playbooks, you can add them on. But I think it's rare you'll hit a lot of these limits. The plans are pretty generous. In many ways, I think it'll be a bit more affordable than the Journeys product, but in some areas it can be more expensive because obviously there's a lot more capabilities around data retention, storage, reporting. I mean, this thing can replace a ton of applications in your business. I realized I wasn't showing you the pricing when I went through it then. That's not good. So yeah, if you want to see this pricing, you can go to the homepage and you'll just see the link in the footer. It's somewhere here, pricing. To show you again, I keep forgetting to show you pricing. It's down here. Okay. Yeah, so the agencies, don't worry, we have not forgotten you. We do have to roll out our new partner program for this product. The current partner program is incompatible, and we're going to do that really quick. In fact, we're going to do a bit of an honesty system. So if you refer people into the new product and we haven't done our partner program in time, we're just going to retroactively give you the credit. And the partner program is going to be really generous. So here's like different accounts being managed. You can go in here and just create a new account and go through the wizard without having to sign up again and manage multiple accounts. And you can launch those accounts and look at the individual billing on those accounts. So it's much, much easier. We really listen to the agency feedback there. I realized I'm not showing you it. It's here. There's an account selection screen. Whoops. I'm still learning this YouTube thing. Okay. So I answered that one. Okay, so yeah, if you're waiting on Stripe, it's coming really soon. I'm talking like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So yeah. SMS is something that we'll be working on soon and is coming. You'll be able to use SMS in both Playbooks, and you'll be able to do single blast SMS for the first time. We also have some cool ideas about how to use AI with SMS, and we'll have more advanced analytics on SMS. So you'll be excited to know that. Right now, all of the configurations for multilingual areas are configurable. So you can actually change a lot of the things like the reaction text and a bunch of things that usually would default to English, but you can change them to another language. There are a few limitations. We do plan with the new Autopilot to make the product multilingual. So it's set up in a way that will enable us to easily do that. And yeah, and so I think you'll like what we have planned there. It just will take us a little bit of time. And yeah, so if you just bear with us on that one. Someone asked about the feeds on product. I didn't even show the data model here. So it actually shows you all the Shopify fields on this particular account. And if I go into my SaaS account with a Recurly user, or just in here in general, you'll see, I didn't even show this, but it's highly configurable now too. So you can go in and actually rearrange how you want to show the fields, and completely organize how you view the customer profile. And in here, you can actually see, like, when they place an order, the actual order summary in the activity feed. And now you can filter by different activities. So say you just wanted to see like placed order, you can now do that. Yeah, I probably should have showed this. It's pretty good. Yeah, so a lot of the things that you guys have told us over the last couple of years, we've been listening. We just wanted to respond in a way that we felt like was the future, and it was a solution that addressed a lot of the issues and a lot of the things and challenges people have had. We wanted to just do it all in one hit. So we'll be releasing product updates with a new product roughly every 2 weeks is our release cycle. There won't be any more big announcements. You'll just get an update and probably a session like this every 2 weeks if you want to attend. Yeah, so what else have we got? So someone mentioned Chargebee. Chargebee is an awesome product. We're big fans of what they're doing. And yes, we're going to do that very soon. We'll probably even look at it after Stripe. So you can expect that in probably about, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks, maybe a bit longer. A lot of you are asking about the migration process from the current product. So right now there isn't one. We didn't even get time to look at that, and we just wanted to get this product into your hands as quick as possible. So we probably will look at it over time about how we might be able to do that. But right now you do have to export and then import into the new Autopilot, which I know is a bit of a pain, and we will try and make it easier over time. That's why we're calling it early access right now, to give us a little bit more time to do things like that. Someone said, can you create a playbook to automatically archive contacts after a certain amount of inactive time? We're actually trying to stop you using playbooks or journeys in the past to do operational stuff like that. We don't think it's a really good use of a marketing campaign. So what we'll do instead is we have a feature plan that will automatically archive contacts based on rules. So you'll be able to set that up soon. And that's something that's already designed, and we just haven't implemented yet, but we will get to it. So someone's asking, with forms, do we capture UTMs? The answer is yes, we do. As long as you have the tracking code, the new Autopilot tracking code on your website, we can pick up the user session and then they'll fill in the form, and those two are perfectly connected together. Okay, so someone's asking, can we integrate other shopping carts besides Shopify WooCommerce, for example, if we need Zapier? Yes, so Zapier integration's coming, and a lot of the features that you see, you'll be able to just recreate with the Zapier integration. So the cool thing, probably the coolest thing about the Zapier integration, which I think like I'm going to love and you're going to love, I can't wait to use it, is that you can actually send activities in based on something happening in Zapier. So say someone fills in like a type form, you can create a custom activity in Autopilot called type form submission. And then when the zap happens, filled in type form, you will get the activity type form submitted with the attributes in Autopilot as part of the Zap. So it just integrates seamlessly. So you're really going to love the Zapier integration. It's going to unlock everything until we get a chance to build all of the data sources that you need. And I think over time we do want to build those data sources because you'll see that it's much more powerful when we do it. Someone was asking about using the products side by side. So you can technically use them side by side. We actually have some customers in the beta doing this as they transition over, and they're just linking up the unsubscribe. It's a little bit hard to set up. You can do it through activities, but you can do it. And the other thing I should mention is if you do decide to migrate over, we're doing migration periods. So you'll have up to 90 days to migrate over, where you can run both solutions side by side. And if you want to extend that out, you can just reach out to us and we'll help you extend that out. All right, so I'm running out of voice, and it's been 2 hours now, so I think I'm gonna head out. And but yeah, I wanted to say we're gonna do this. You'll find I'm posting 2 videos about how to use the new Autopilot here every week on this YouTube channel. So make sure if you liked what you saw today and you want to see more videos like this and attend live events in the future, it would be great to have you along. And I think we can build out a really interesting community here on YouTube and hang out together. I'm also going to do events on European time zone because we've neglected them over the years. So I'm going to do late night events. I'll probably drink a beer while I do it. And I'm just going to help you get your accounts configured up and answer your questions. And I can show you solving problems in real time if you'd like to see that. So any suggestions you have about stuff that you'd like to see on the channel or tutorials you'd like, please just reach out or leave comments on existing tutorials and I'm going to read them all. All right, that was a lot to take in. I'm really excited to get this into your hands. There's so much more to discover in there. Thank you so much for attending. It means the world to me. And yeah, I'm going to head out now. I'll see you guys soon.